Hello and welcome to the RGA Members Podcast, where we elevate professionals in our network one guest at a time. My name is Mark O'Donnell. I'm president and founder of RGA. RGA is a connection and relationship organization focused on providing tools, education, growth opportunities to our members. Today, I'm here to introduce Connie Kuder with the team of the Kuders. Good morning or good afternoon and welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Miss Connie.
I am a 8th generation. And so I had one grandfather he was the start of the 6th generation to have it. And then I had one grandfather who had his own farm and didn't have the skills is the only thing I can think of to pass it on to the next generation. So I got a good basic foundation in how to have a successful business and and succession and how not to have one.
Wow.
So that really made a big impression on me. And then I always like to say too that all of us are born into a family business. We just don't know it exactly. And we have that awareness or some of us do, that our parents' view of money, what their view of entrepreneurship, what their view of mentoring is all based on what they were taught. We still have those echoes in our head, and that's what's influencing our businesses today.
God, I never looked at it that way. Thank you for participating in the RGA Members Podcast. Let's get started. We're just going to jump right in. What inspired you to start your own business and to pursue the career path that you're on?
Thank you. There again, I jokingly, and it's not really a joke, say that we've made every mistake that you can make in a business. I was not only watching my parents, I was also part of John's family, 3rd generation business, and watching. And that was an interesting perspective because I could watch it from one step back and could see all of the different moving parts. And my personal mission is to help these small family businesses survive and to go on to the next one. Or if they don't want to survive, then let's shut that down in an organic way that's not going to be hurtful to other family members.
I like it. All right. So tell us, getting started, how did you get started with John, the consulting business?
There again, we saw a need. We were sitting here during the pandemic thinking, what is it who's surviving out there? And it was the small family businesses, the ones that they could bring in their family members and they all felt comfortable either wearing masks or not wearing masks and being around each other. But those are the ones that the least served. Big corporations, big enterprises, they've got people knocking down the doors telling, we can help you. How can we? Just give us money. We'll do anything you want. But it's that small mom and pop or small aunt and uncles, small father, daughter, mother, son, those are the ones that don't get the attention and don't get the love.
I like it. What lessons have you learned from your failures or setbacks along the way?
We could probably be here till tomorrow on.
Okay, well, let's stick to the top 3.
All right, top 3. To me, it's listening.
Listening.
When I stop listening is when I stop communicating correctly, clearly. So when I listen, that brings me in tune. And when I don't listen, that's when I shut down and I'm not responsive to what's going on in my environment. That was a big one for me. Another failure was just not showing up.
Must be present to win.
Yes, we were sitting here when the pandemic was slowing down, and our mentor, our coach, said, well, what are you doing with networking? And we're going, what? We're sitting here waiting for people to call us. And he's going, I don't think that's going to happen. So we luckily found RGA and have had.
I think I need to give that guy a thank you card. Can I get his name and number and send him a thank you card? Thank you for encouraging the
There you go. Exactly.
Right.
It got us out of our comfort zone. And that leads me to number 3 is getting out of your comfort zone. Because we all know intellectually that you don't learn unless you're uncomfortable. And what do we not want to do? Get uncomfortable.
Like
And
we don't want to sit through a podcast without a fan on us because we don't want to be too hot.
correct. But being uncomfortable means that we're also being resourceful, that we're also looking outside of that box that we've got ourselves in that we might not be able to get out of. But if we're uncomfortable and ask those uncomfortable questions, that forces us to rewire our brain.
All right. So we have listen. What was number 2?
And number 2 was getting out of your comfort zone.
Get out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
I'm
And
writing
number
those
3,
down.
yeah, and number 3 is there again, allowing yourself to be uncomfortable. Allowing yourself.
Allowing. Yeah, because some people won't even allow. I totally
Exactly.
get it.
Exactly.
What role do mentors or advisors play in your professional life, and how have they influenced your journey thus
No,
far?
there again, it kicked us in the behind and got us out there, got us looking at instead of being here in this small little box world, we got out and started meeting people and starting interacting and figuring out what it was in the direction that we wanted to go. And that's what a mentor does. It kicks you in the butt, or a coach kicks you out of that comfort zone and shows you that it's okay. You'll be fine. Or you're going to be uncomfortable, but it's okay.
Wear your mask, use hand sanitizer.
That's right. And go say hello to perfect strangers.
How do you navigate when somebody says, like, why a coach? I'm throwing a curveball at you.
Well, no, that is one of those questions because can you do it all yourself? Not only that, but if you're talking to your best friend or you're talking to your mother or your brother or another family member or somebody in your circle, you may not get the truth to some extent. You may not get that kick in the tuchus to get you off of dead center. And another person that can give you a view of, I look at it as the 30,000 foot view, that somebody can look down and say, oh, these are the things that are coming up around that are hemming you in. So let's see if we can break those out.
Okay, so I split that question in 2. The second part is how do you differentiate yourself or your business, the Kuder Consulting Group, for in the market of all the other coaches?
And I thank you for that because that's also one of our differentiators. We're very unique in that we're a husband-wife team. And we are such totally different personalities. In fact, John's got one of these podcasts if you want to go see his personality. So what we do is we come at it from in totally different worlds, not just being male, female, but totally basic personalities. He's very organized and very by the book. And I could be just a tad bit of a wild card. So,
No.
no. Who knew?
I love that about you.
I know.
Like, I always think you guys, when you do commercials, start with John and end with you. Yeah, because people will be like, wait a minute, there was one of those other persons here too.
When we do videos of which we have on YouTube under Kuder Consulting Group.
What was that?
Kuder Consulting Group. Who knew?
KUDER Consulting Group on YouTube.
And we do a lot of things with mental models and cognitive biases. You get a good representation of who we are.
Right. Now, you both come from the family business background.
Yes, and we both come from agriculture.
And you both have been in the corporate world, right?
We both have, yes.
So you
We've also both worked for small family businesses that were not ours. So we've got a vast experience with all sorts of different things in our little lives. And when I say jokingly that we've made all the mistakes, we really have. But
well,
we can
that's
help others be aware of those mistakes. And they're not really mistakes, they're learning opportunities.
well,
And so
mistakes prove you're not even they prove you're trying,
correct,
right?
correct,
And
correct.
it not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up.
And my whole thing is I don't know where my direction is a lot of times, but I got to make that first step before I know. And it may be 5 steps into it and go, oh, this is not where I need to be. I need to be over here. Okay, then we pivot and go to that direction.
I like it. All right. So, what are the most common myths or misconceptions about coaching that you'd like to debunk?
I think
There.
the number one is it's a do it yourself operation. We have coaches that we work with on a basis. And that it just gives you a different perspective because even John and I are great coaches with each other, but we have history. And sometimes just getting beyond that history and getting outside of ourselves a little bit and getting more resourceful is really the key. Another one is that coach is only for when you're weak or you're failing. There's a famous CEO, Jack Welch. He did GE. His whole program, especially on his C levels, was when he promoted, they got a coach and they worked with that coach because every process, every promotion that they got, they had to have new skills. And some of them are innate and a lot of them are not. And so by having that experience with somebody that's had that experience or can look at it in a totally different way, that elevates everybody. And
100%.
and wasn't that a cool idea? That he was doing this in the 70s
Right.
and he grew it from a small little company to
If you think about all the who's who in yay sports, when you meet them, like Giselle's husband, what was his name? He only won 8 Super
yeah,
Bowls,
yeah,
right?
right.
Like he had a coach.
Oh,
He didn't
oh,
get there without a coach.
did you know that in the NBA right now, they also have performance coaches? You can get a degree in it.
In
And
performance
like
coach.
in performance coaches, what in a lot of them too, and I know tennis players because that's where I came from too. When a tennis player who's been out on the circuit for a while, coming back home and walking in that door with that family who's been without him for say month to 6 weeks, everybody's got to get to know each other again. So a smart tennis player has a coach that travels with him and helps him re-engage with his family.
So somebody's thinking about getting a coach.
Mhm,
They've talked about it. They've heard about it.
mhm.
Give them 3 reasons why they should call you.
I think but the first one is our depth of experience. A coach doesn't, it's not like a consultant needs to know your process, what widget works where. A coach doesn't necessarily need that. And because sometimes the less I know about your business, the more I can be curious about it and pull out of you what it is that you have inside of you that I need to know to work with you.
Okay, there's one. I know
There's
you
one.
covered one.
There we go. Uh, uh, the other thing is we work with strengths. That's a really big part of our business is strengths. Everybody can wax poetic for hours on their failures, which they're not failures, but we know that. But their strengths, most people don't understand that. They don't have that awareness of exactly what it is, how they speak, how how the world perceives them and the strengths that they have. So that's one of the first things we do. We have several protocols that we run everybody through. That way I know how to talk to you and you know how to talk to me, and we can get it done in a shorter period of time.
I like it. And our last one.
Our last one.
See, I have one. I'm waiting to spill some tea, but go ahead.
No, you tell
I'm
me.
ready. Oh no, you're right. I want your third one.
I think our third one is, so I've done our strengths and everybody else's strengths. I also think it's a matter of personal growth. If somebody is willing to grow and step out of that role that they have got themselves locked into and grow, because you'll grow exponentially in ways that you never thought. And every time you grow, your business grows. But until you grow, your business can't grow. And that's one of the things I think that we put a spotlight on, is to help people get over those humps. Because you can't read the label from inside the bottle, right?
It would be really hard.
It
And
is
if
very hard.
it's probably a very transparent label, and you should probably look elsewhere.
Right.
I was going to say you get two brilliant minds for the price of one.
Oh,
Two
well,
brilliant
thank you.
minds, price of one.
Thank you.
You
Yeah.
know,
I jokingly say we're the BOGO coaches.
buy one.
One.
And then you have a male female perspective. There's so many variables there that you're not
Right.
just one and cornholed into one
No.
situation.
And John is very tech oriented, where
Obviously, he helped us get
exactly
off the.
right. And yeah, yes, I know how to use my phone, and I know how to use the clicker on my TV, and that's probably it. But I'm good in other things.
All right. So, how can people get a hold of you?
Well, kuderconsultinggroup.com,
What was that again?
KUDER consultinggroup.com.
CuderConsultingGroup.com.
Correct. There, you can go to there's ways to contact us through there. Our business telephone number is 813-517-9331. That's 813-517-9331. We also have a YouTube channel under Kuder Consulting Group, KUDER Consulting Group. And there is also a podcast that we do, and it's called Celebrating Small Family Businesses, which
I
is
like.
also on YouTube and Spotify and Apple and all the audios also.
Well, look at you guys.
Look at
Well,
that.
our mission
Tony
here at
Cruz.
I like that. Our mission here at RGA is to help empower our business community. This podcast is such an important part of our mission because it gives us and the rest of our members a platform to promote and share their business, and more importantly, their story and their mission. Thank you, Connie, for participating today. All things
Thank you.
RGA can be found on our website at rganetwork.net or any of your preferred social media channels. We'll see you at a meeting soon.